Hey guys, welcome to 1.7 section. We're going to talk about multiplication and division of real numbers. Let's get started. Right? Um, when you have an even number of negatives, your answer is going to be positive. When you have an odd number of negatives, your answer is going to be negative. On number one, we have two negatives, so my final answer is going to be positive. 9 times 9 is 81, and the negatives are going to cancel out, so that's my answer. All right, number two, anything times 0 is 0. So that one's pretty straightforward as well. Number three, if it's helpful, you can rewrite this as negative 36 times, or negative 36 over 4, which you should recognize as negative 9. So that's that. Okay, on number 4, when you multiply fractions, you multiply across the top, you multiply across the bottom. And your same rules for signs and everything applies. So you have negative 5 times negative 1 is going to be positive 5. 9 times 8 is 72. And that's great. That's it. Now, when it comes to multiplying fractions, if you could have reduced at the end, you could have reduced earlier. And I'll show you, we couldn't reduce on number 4, but I'll show you what I'm talking about momentarily. All right. On 5, we have 4 different terms. So let's just take it 2 at a time. That's going to be positive 20, and this is going to be negative 6. So 20 times negative 6 is going to be negative 120. Okay. Now, okay, on number 6, this is more of a statement or a question. It's not really any math that needs to be worked out. It's really just a concept. So how do you go from 1/8 to 8? Well, these are what we call multiplicative inverses. Multiplicative inverses. Okay, just like multiplication undoes division, addition undoes subtraction. All right, I can take an 8, and if I want to move the 8, I multiply by just multiplicative inverse. What this is doing is if I take 1/8, and multiply it by 8, I get 1. And so that's what we're talking about. If I can multiply two numbers together and get 1, those two numbers are multiplicative inverses. And that's what we're talking about here, right? We often will multiply anytime you multiply something by 1, it's the same thing. And we were oftentimes in algebra, we'll multiply some version of 1 by a problem to move forward, to manipulate the problem in such a way that it's helpful, and so on and so forth. So this is a very critical part of what we're going to be studying together. Number 7, we're dividing. We have an odd number of negatives. We only have 1, so my answer is going to be negative. 12 over 6 is 2, so my answer is negative 2. Okay. On number 8, again, this is division, but it's written long ways. If it is helpful for you, you can rewrite it vertically. So negative 280 over negative 70. First of all, I have two negatives, so it's going to be positive. The answer will be positive. And then 280 over 70 is 40. Or sorry, just 4. Right. Another trick here is that if I have two numbers that end in 0 or multiple zeros, I can knock off the zeros they have in common because that means 10 goes in each of those. And then it's just simply 28 divided by 7, which is 4. Okay? There's a lot of tips and tricks you pick up like that on the way. So I hope that was helpful. On number 9, you have 6y minus 7y. Right? This is simply combining like terms. So 6, that's going to be 6 minus 7. That's going to be negative 1. So it's going to be negative y. Okay. And then on 10, another big deal about algebra is there's this big concept called distribution, distributive property. And that's what we're doing here. It's just fancy multiplication. You're multiplying something on the outside to something on the inside. So I'm going to take the 4, I'm going to give it to everything on the inside. And so that's going to be negative 8x and then positive 20. And that's your answer. On number 11, all right, you ever see a comment like this with a number, that's asking you to plug that number in. And in this particular case, they're asking you to plug it into both sides and see if both sides equal each other. So 3 times negative 2, negative 9. And I'm actually trying to find out whether they're equal. I don't know if they're equal yet. So this is going to be negative 12 on the left. And then I got negative 6 minus 9. Still don't know yet, although you might have an indication of it. And then that's going to be negative 15. These do not equal. Okay, so that means negative 2 doesn't work for this problem. It's not a solution. Okay, here we're going to expand everything. So I'm going to say 4 times 2 is going to be 8y. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. All right, whenever you see negative in front of parentheses, that means you have to distribute that negative. It's going to be minus 7y minus 3. Okay, and now once you distribute that negative, then you can come back and combine like terms. All right, you have 8y minus 7y, so that's going to be y. And then negative 12 minus 3, that's going to be minus 15. Okay. There's that. And then on 13, we have one of these problems that is algebraic or is in English, and we got to turn it into algebraic form. Okay, so 8 added to the product of 3 and negative 11. So you have 3 times negative 11, and then you have 8 added to that product. So plus 8. All right, and when it's something simple like this, you can go ahead and crunch that number. So that's going to be negative 33 plus 8, which is negative 25. All right. All right, guys, that's 1.7. I hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and I will see you in the next video.